Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for another Tool Time Gear review. And of course, as always, because I love my tools and I get way too excited about things that maybe shouldn't excite me, I've got another great one for you this week. This week we are going to talk about the Milwaukee Slim Pry Bar. 12 inches long, rubber coated, and I absolutely love it. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Alright guys, real quick before we dive in, if you haven't before, you can go by toolmantim.co, that's toolmantim.co, to find out everything there is to know about what I do, my handyman business, trying to encourage other people to start their own entrepreneurial ventures, and of course, the Today's Tool section where I recommend solutions to problems that you might not even know you have. No, not really, but if you're looking for a product or a tool that you're not sure what might be something that actually works, go there and check out all the different feature products that I've put up there that are solutions to problems I've run into in my handyman business. They've either made me money or saved me money, or just save me a real hassle around my own house. So take a minute, check out the Today's Tool section, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Okay, so this week, guys, of course, because I get excited about the smallest, littlest things and tools that aren't real expensive sometimes, and this one falls under that category. It's a whopping $12 US. I think I paid around 15 Canadian. I had to look it up, imagine that. Anyway, that's about on par with the conversion from Canadian pesos to American freedom units. So here we are. Anyway, so if you guys follow me and you've been watching some of my videos, you know one of my biggest thrusts this year has been upgrading some of my tools. This week, it's been 4 years since I started my business, 3 years since I walked away from working for the man and decided to become self-sufficient, independent, financially free, all of that. So back then, 4 years ago, I had a much smaller, cheaper toolbox, although this one isn't much, more expensive. But everything I had, and this is one of the things I've always preached, has been built on what I already had on hand. And I just basically collected up all the different tools that I needed as I went on job sites. Tried to keep it as small and compact as I could, but it was based on whatever came from wherever. And this old beast of a crowbar, it's a Task, which is, I'm sure you guys have seen that brand before. It's heavy. It doesn't really work that well. It's horrible for demolition. It doesn't get under nails. The only thing it does really well would be pull nails from here. But it's longer, a little bit heavier perhaps, but in this instance, it was more of an upgrade for quality. So out the window, he went, and I started doing some research. Now, you guys know, as you can see, that I bleed black and yellow and love my DeWalt cordless tools. And that's because I always talk about being on a single platform is super helpful, redundancy, and all that jazz. However, I have got to say that on just about every occasion so far in the last year or so that I've decided to upgrade a hand tool, I have tried the DeWalt and I have tried the Milwaukee, and just about every stinking time Milwaukee has come out a little bit better. So this is the beast. This is what I've been looking for. Its model number is 48229034. That's a mouthful. It weighs 20 ounces. And when I ordered it, honestly, what I was looking for was something compact. There's bigger ones at 15 inches. This one is 12. But I wanted something that would sit right in my toolbox, not get in the way, or be one of those large tools that's always on top that you got to dig under. And I wanted something that had some really good angles to it, would get in under, windowsill boards for pulling them out and that sort of thing. And this sucker fit the bill, for sure. Now, the one thing I didn't even count on, I guess I realized, I wasn't sure if it was a rubber coating or just red paint or whatever, but when it showed up, it has this rubberized coating on it that's almost like a school eraser. And I was installing some windows at my wife's daycare the other day, and I want to tell you that when you get that in under those boards and you start hitting it with a hammer, that can really vibrate your hands. And this rubber, for what it's worth, really made a difference. So, it's the little things. Everybody has a pry bar. on the market. Every company, every generic no-name company has one. So it's just the little things that make them better. This thing is sturdy. I beat on it. I beat the heck out of it with a hammer. Never had any issues at all. You'll see a few dings and scratches, but it has a nice kind of knurled finish, maybe. Is that the right word for it? I don't know. Laser engraved Milwaukee there. But what I loved, and it doesn't seem like it, and it's hard to appreciate here, but these bends, every one of them, are an absolute perfect angle for getting things in, under, and prying. So even if you're in here like this, I was able to really come onto it and get under it, and this was great. Now, I'll come in real close again, and I know, see how thin those teeth are? They're almost sharp, almost like you could use them as a chisel. And what that did was I could basically just set it on top, give it a whack, and get those embedded nails really, really easy. And I know that it's not a huge upgrade, or you've seen my old one, so I'm going to get excited about anything. But this sits nice and flat, and you could basically just put a little angle on it, give it a whack, and it got right underneath it. Really, really nice. I like that quite a bit. As far as, so one thing, it's not available on Amazon. Not yet anyway. I'll post a link if it does show up there, but for right now, this is one of those Home Depot tools that I could only find. I ordered it from Home Depot in Canada. Home Depot in the US has it as well. 5 out of 5 stars across the board, north and south of the border. So it's been a really good tool to me. What? Oh, yes, and the lifetime warranty. So Milwaukee, of course, like a lot of the companies, has a really good lifetime warranty on hand tools. So if you do ever manage to wreck this thing, you should be fine. They'll take care of you as long as it doesn't look like you ran it over with a truck or something. What else? So there's a little bit of reinforcement right there, which I love, which means you can come onto that without worrying about it bending in your hands, which means it must be TIM-proof because, or at least it should be, because that's another issue with my tools is my wife says they need to be TIM-proof because I tend to break things. And the one other, I haven't really used that yet. I'll give you some close-up footage as well, but that's for getting obviously a little bigger nail heads in there, get them in and put some extra leverage on it. And yeah, now you guys will see later on this month, I'm actually going to do a review on a tool belt by a non-tool belt guy. That's me. I've never worn tool belts in my life. I'm miserable, didn't like them. This is small enough, those extra 3 inches that it's shorter, will fit nice down into a tool belt on one of those loops and should not interfere with your ability to work or walk or get up or down or whatever. So that's it. That's what I'm talking about this week. That's the Milwaukee Slimline. I didn't even know if it had a specific product name in the write-up, which I couldn't find anywhere. But like I said, model number was the 48229034. And this guy right here obviously meets the Tim the Toolman Tim seal of approval. But it has made a spot in my EDC toolbox. And that's important to me because everything, either you buy a tool to save you time or to do a better job. And in this instance, it does both for me for $12 US. So that's pretty good. So if you're looking for a really good pry bar, kind of demo bar that's compact and will fit into a toolbox and doesn't weigh it down a whole lot, this is the answer. 12 bucks, like I said. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Have you used this? I'd love to know if you have. If you haven't, what do you recommend? Because I'd love to do a showdown between this and, say, another brand, because that seems to be a thing that I really enjoy doing. And I always like it when my DeWalt destroys my Milwaukee, but in this instance, I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to take a lot to take this out of my toolbox. So yeah, throw up some recommendations there of ones you've used. I'd appreciate it. If you have any questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And if you haven't, when you go by Toolmantimcom, check out the monthly newsletter. I send out once a month. I don't spam you. You get once a month the monthly workshop where I share with you some of the content I've put out, some exclusive tips, some write-ups on what might be happening in the world, and anything that I might find a little interesting that I think you might as well. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you dropping by the workshop this week. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.